welcome to Northeast Georgia Scouting. Today, I'm going to be talking about Den Chief as a leadership position, and I'm going to be giving some of my own personal experience with this role. So, to get started, what is Den Chief? A Den Chief is a scout that works specifically with Cub Scouts. They get assigned to one den in the pack, usually connected to their troop, and they basically just help out with that den and do what they need and be a representative of the troop. It's a very important role because sometimes when you're a Cub Scout, you just don't really know what it is, what Boy Scouts is, and sometimes it may end up impacting them to want to join Boy Scouts if they can see somebody there who's in Boy Scouts who is squared away and helping out. So it just kind of introduces them to Boy Scouts early, and I think that this is very important, especially once you get up to like Weeblos and stuff. They need somebody to help them be guided into the troop, and really just your job as a den chief is just to not only help out but also just to be a really good example for what scouting is, and be available to help them with anything they may need. Now, with my personal experience as a den chief, I've been doing it for a year, and this past year I had two different dens because just the way things worked out. Because my dad was also doing two dens, and this year I'm gonna have one. There'll be a wolf group, and just a couple things that I would say to myself before I gotten started is, uh, one, just in dealing with the scouts, just treat them like you would any one of your friends. They really they like it the best when they're just treated as an equal and you're just helping them progress. And another thing is, especially since Cub Scouts are elementary school age kids, they really enjoy games. Like, for example, when we were teaching the Tigers the Bobcat badge, we came up with a game called the Bobcat Boogie. It's a four corners game where you're going around the circle. Well, it's not really corners, but anyway. And at each section, you have to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, then the Scout Oath, the Scout Law, and then the last one, the Scout Salute. Oh, not necessarily in that order, but that's kind of the general idea. And once you do this, they basically have the bulk of their Bobcat badge done. And things like this, saves it from being a boring meeting to do that kind of thing, because often that kind of requirement can be pretty dull to teach them, and it won't hold their attention long enough. They only have a attention span of around 5 minutes, so if you keep them running around having fun, they won't even realize that they're learning, and they'll enjoy that much more. So games are definitely good to do. And also, one of the things that I think being a den chief, one of your most important times to be there is during a camp out, because obviously one of the main selling points of Boy Scouts is the outdoor experience. And if you can be there showing all the skills that you've learned, that is really cool and exciting for them to learn about, and it makes them want to learn that too. And also, don't be afraid to ask somebody from your troop to come and help out with you. They don't have to be a den chief, but I've had several friends come with me to help out with the pack, and they wanted to become den chiefs because they really enjoy working with them, younger kids, and it's rewarding to see people younger than you. If you can get them to learn everything they need to know, it's very awesome to see. Especially, I got to have some experience with moving Weeblos up into the troop, and it's awesome to see what they've learned in the past year. And it's just a very rewarding job to do as a Boy Scout. Now, I personally had a much easier experience with getting into this because not only was my dad going to be a den leader, but my brother was a Tiger Scout. Well, he's a Tiger and he's going to be a Wolf this next year, and it's just really like planning things if it was just going to be him, because just planning things that he would enjoy, and it's just you gotta think a little bit differently when planning activities, because it's got to be something that elementary school age kids will enjoy. But once you figure these things out, I think the den chief is one of the best roles that you can have in your troop. With that being said, I think that basically anybody who finds themselves in a situation where they can be a den chief should take that opportunity. And that's really all I have to say about Den Chief. So just ask your troop and your pack leaders if they have any interest in doing that. And other than just a little bit of training, it's very easy to get into. It's just a great program. So that's all I really need to say for today. Thank you for listening.